Okay, cool. So this is the first episode of the LTP Extra. Is that what I'm going to be calling it? I don't know. LTP Unleashed. That was one of the ideas that I had. Cool. So let's get into this. So welcome to the first extra episode of the week. This is just something that I want to have fun with. Because I don't know if you listened to Wednesday's episode. It sucked. Not that it sucked in a sense of I wasn't happy with the finished product. It was just I hated talking about this episode. Or talking about what I had to talk about during this episode. It was not a fun episode to talk about. In fact, if you go back and listen to it, actually, if you watch it on YouTube, you can see that I am close to tears just talking about this stuff. Because talking about that stuff fucking sucks to me. It's not that I'm open about this stuff. It's not that I close this stuff off with me. Not that I hate talking about death. Because death is something that I talk about pretty openly. Especially with the experiences that I have with the losses that I've had. I don't like talking about it publicly because not everybody needs to know. So, that's what we're going to make this episode in general. That's why this episode is basically being made. And this is why the Friday episode is going to be starting. It's just that I want to do something a little more fun for the podcast, for the show. Not so much, whatever. It's going to be an extra thing. This is under the Leading the Pack, name. But this is basically going to be its own show. Don't really want to be talking about sports on here. I'll probably talk about sports on here a little bit. But the idea for this is just go on YouTube and look at the background for this episode, for my episodes. Well, that shouldn't be there. Let's put that right over there in the box. I have basically Lego behind me. And with you, as you can tell, none of it is sports. I have a Seinfeld set that I actually got the first day it came out. So, fuck yeah, I'm cool for that. And I got a lot of Star Wars. I also got a couple cookbooks. They're the Matty Matheson ones, because Matty Matheson is a G. So, if you're... I just swallowed saliva. Or inhaled saliva. So, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you can see a lot of the things that I have. I don't just like sports. Sports, I'm not just one of those guys, yeah, go team, sports, this and that. No, I like other things, not just sports. I love to cook. Cooking is basically my passion. I love nerdy shit. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. As you can tell from the Darth Vader bust, like the helmet bust that I have on my desk during sports episodes. I love Marvel. Marvel is one of my things. I don't know if you can see, but on here, I got a few guys. I got Captain America, Bucky, and Black Panther, which I don't know if you guys saw last week's episode. I feel like I want to talk about this one too. I'll talk about it real quick. I got Black Panther. I got Cap over here, which I had to take this head because I was actually gifted. I don't want to get into how I got this gift because I don't want to talk about that part. I got this Captain America. So I basically got this body from a different set. Oh, God. This is going to sound so nerdy. Basically got this body from a different set, but it came with his actual head, like his face and his hair. That's cool. But it's not the cowl. The cowl, you got to have the cowl. It's the cowl. You love the cowl. So I put the head with the cowl with the head, and I changed the shield. I gave Bucky that shield because I don't got Sam yet. And then we got Black Panther, which I kind of want to talk about that. This episode's basically going to be the Marvel fun. It's going to be a Marvel fun because I want to talk about Marvel, basically, this episode, even though I love Star Wars. I'm basically on a Star Wars binge right now. Or I should actually talk about the Bad Batch because I want to talk about the Bad Batch as well. But, yeah. So, basically, what am I saying basically for? I don't know if you guys have been watching Marvel's What If. It's not a show that I get excited for, like it's Loki or whatever, because it's not really connected to the MCU, but it kind of is in a weird way. That show has been so fun to watch. Like it's just like you can do whatever you want with that show. Captain America, uh, what's her name again? The Peggy Carter episode. Wow, that was an episode. Last week's episode, I think, was better than the first one. That was, so far, out of the two, my favorite one. So, that episode it was sad, because, like, spoiler alert, kind of, T'Challa's in that episode. It's not really a spoiler because I'm not really giving context to it. And he actually got to voice T'Challa. I don't know if that's going to be the last thing that he did as T'Challa, but he voiced him. And hearing his voice was just, you can tell it was him. Nobody else can make that. Nobody else can do it how he does it. It was a great episode. But, man, the trailer that we got for Spider-Man. Oh, the trailers. Oh, we've been waiting for this trailer for so long now. The movie's coming out in December. I'll be honest with you, they didn't need to drop this trailer. If they didn't drop the trailer and they just said, "Hey, it's coming out," if they just made it like a post of Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon, just saying, "Hey, December 17th, come watch it," I'd be like, okay. They didn't even have to make the trailer. Now that they did the trailer, I don't know if it ruined it for me or not, because I was trying to go into this movie with no spoilers. But as soon as I went on Instagram and I saw they posted it, I broke down and I watched it. And I'm kind of happy I did, but at the same time, I wish I could forget the trailer, just go into this movie completely blind. I want to scream. I wanted the reaction that I had when I saw Alfred Molina dressed as... Actually, okay, if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. Like, what are you doing? I wanted the reaction that I had when I saw the Electro Lightning, which I am certain that is Electro with that yellow lightning. The reaction I had, because it was like, oh my god, Electro, and then I went to and then the Green Goblin's grenades were the Green Goblin grenades from the 2002 movie. Let's get that straight. No, the original I can't remember when it came out. The original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. His grenades were thrown on the highway. So I wanted the reaction. It was just basically gradual. It was, hey, Electro. Oh, cool. The yellow lightning. That's definitely Electro. Then it was the Green Goblin's lightning. It was like, oh my god, the Green Goblin. And then if you... Like that my house heard it. When Alfred Molina came out of whatever he came out of the ground with the fucking Doc Ock arms. I literally, like, the house heard me. I was, oh my god, it's Doc Ock! Like, I didn't know how to contain myself. I just wish I had that reaction in the theater, but I'm also glad I didn't, because I would have had to bought out the theater just so I didn't disturb people's movie experiences. So I'm excited for that. Like, I love Spider-Man. Before the MCU was a thing, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero. It was Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman. And then the MCU comes out. I'm like, oh my god, Iron Man. Oh my god, Captain America. This guy. Captain America has been my favorite Avenger since 2011. No. I don't know if it was 2011, but Captain America has been my favorite Avenger. He is my number one for the originals, and then Tony Stark number two, whatever. But if you ask me to rank it now, it might be a little hard. I will say that. I don't know who to say as my number one, but I'd probably go, like, right now, I don't even know if Captain America is my number one anymore, because I love Spider-Man. I'm so happy he's back in the MCU. New Thor, not like new Thor, like the revamped Thor is just, oh, beautiful. This Hulk is actually fun. I like this Hulk, especially the Hulk, especially in Ragnarok. Love that one. But you got Bucky, now you got Sam. Wanda was fantastic in WandaVision. Hopefully the Vision comes back. Loki's not really an Avenger, but, like, he's still a great character. I don't know who to choose as my number one, so I usually just go with my safe choice. It's probably Captain America number one, Spider-Man number 2, Doctor Strange number 3. Because Doctor Strange is a fantastic character. So he was a flawed character at first, and now he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Gotta like, I love it. I love Doctor Strange. He's also got a very underrated Marvel movie. His movie is one of the more underrated ones. It's not my favorite one. Not gonna say just because he's in my top 3 doesn't mean his movie is number 1. I just think that in everything that he's in, he's great. He's a fantastic character. He's one of the strongest characters in the MCU. I'm not gonna get into this conversation with who's the strongest character in the MCU because I go on for days. Probably Wanda. Yeah, but it's just I'm so excited for this because I felt like a kid. Now I've had these discussions before with who my favorite Spider-Man is. Or whatever. Let me just get this out of the way. If most likely all 3 Spider-Men will be in it because there's no reason for in the trailer. Go watch the trailer before I basically spoil it for you. Spoiler alert, I guess. Dr. Octopus says something. He mentions Peter Parker. Like, hello, Peter Parker. I can't remember exactly how it was. It doesn't make sense for him to be saying that to Tom Holland because they look different. I guess they sort of look alike if you were to put them beside each other. But Tobey Maguire was also older. That Peter Parker was actually older in Spider-Man 2 compared to this Spider-Man in No Way Home. Because this No Way Home one, I think he's still like 15, 16. Tobey Maguire in the first one was, I think, going to university. So, yeah. So it doesn't make sense for Alfred Molina to be saying that to Tom Holland's Peter Parker. It only makes sense for him to be saying it to Tobey Maguire. It doesn't even make sense for him to be saying it to Andrew Garfield because they all look different. So my thinking is there's definitely gonna be all 3 Spider-Men, and if that's the fucking case, I am going to need at least 4 days to recover from that movie. 1 day. Just so I can watch all the MCU movies. Sorry, all the Tobey Maguire movies. 1 day to, I don't know if I'm going to watch the fucking Andrew Garfield movies. Because, fun fact, I don't like him. Not that I don't like him. I don't like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. The Amazing Spider-Man kind of sucked. And then I am going to need basically 2 days just to watch all the MCU movies. Because I'm probably not just going to watch Spider-Man Homecoming. Because if you're going to be watching Spider-Man Homecoming, you have to watch Civil War, and if you gotta watch Civil War, you're gonna have to go on to you're gonna have to watch Age of Ultron. If you're gonna be watching Age of Ultron, you're gonna have to go to the first Avengers movie. But if you're gonna be watching just those movies, you might as well be watching in between Captain America, the Winter Soldier. You might as well be watching Ant-Man because Ant-Man's in Civil War. And then if you're going to go from that, you're going to have to go all the way back to Captain America, the First Avenger. And say you do want to watch just the Spider-Man movie, and you're going to go from Homecoming. Okay, cool. So then you're going to have to go from Far From Home. But if you go from Far From Home, it's directly after Endgame. So you're going to have to watch Endgame right before you watch Far From Home. And if you watch Endgame, you're going to have to watch the Infinity War. And if you watch Infinity War, you're going to have to watch Ragnarok. And if you watch Ragnarok, I don't remember what... Oh, if you watch Ragnarok, you're going to have to watch Age of Ultron as well. And if you watch Age of Ultron, you're going to have to watch this and that. And it's just watch the whole thing. So basically, I'm going to need a few days to recover because I'm going to be watching movies and most likely just giggling the entire time. I'm probably going to be buying... Who knows what I'm going to be buying. But, yeah. I need time to recover from that movie because I am going to be ecstatic with that movie. I am going to be a child, like a literal child watching that movie, just giggling the entire time. It's Dr. Octopus. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man's villains. I love the original Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. Okay. If I'm going to be ranking the franchises, I'm going to go MCU number 1. Let's get that out of the way. It's going to be the Tobey Maguire movies after that, and then the Amazing Spider-Man. Not a big fan of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I think that he was a good Spider-Man, but Peter Parker, he was kind of shit as Peter Parker. But if I could just be talking about this all day. Is this piece coming off? Sorry, I'm fidgeting with my Darth Vader. I don't even know if I put... Hold on. Did I put that piece on properly? No, I did. It's just weird. Sorry, I really love my Darth Vader helmet set. But if I had to rank the actors, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Tom Holland guy. I grew up a Tobey Maguire fan, but I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire was a fantastic Peter Parker, but he was a good Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, I think, was a fantastic Spider-Man. The swinging was fantastic in that movie. It's probably the best swinging out of all the movies. But as Peter Parker, he was okay. I thought he didn't really play him as well. Peter Parker is supposed to be that shy, nerdy kid. And then Spider-Man is supposed to be the sarcastic asshole. He's supposed to be able to, bounce off of Deadpool, like comedy-wise. And I think that the person who portrays that perfectly is Tom Holland. As Peter Parker, he's that nerdy kid that nobody cares about, that nobody wants to be around. Not that nobody wants to be around, but he's that nerdy kid who gets bullied, whatever. And then as Spider-Man, he is that sarcastic superhero, that cocky. He's got that cockiness to him, that sarcasm. He's snappy. He's got the quips ready. He is, in my opinion, the perfect person to be playing both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He also looks like he's young, even despite the fact that he is I think 2 or 3 years older than me. He still looks like a child. He plays the high schooler perfectly, even though he's 24, 25? Yeah. I think that he is a very good Spider-Man. He is a very good Spider-Man, and he's a very good, Peter Parker. He's not the best. I don't think, not so. It's hard to explain it because I still think that Tobey Maguire is the better Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield is probably the better Spider-Man. But for somebody who plays both, he plays them both perfectly. I guess that makes sense. It's just weird to explain. I don't know. I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for that. December 17th? I have it. I still got to book it off my schedule for work, but I'm most likely going to be booking it off, or I'm going to finish work early and then right after just go to the theater and just watch the movie. If I have to watch it by myself, I will watch it by myself. I'm already going to be doing that with Many Saints of Newark, which I would like to do a review of that when I do watch it. I'm still rewatching all the Soprano movies or Soprano shows, all the Soprano movies and shows. I'm still rewatching the Sopranos right now. So when that's done, I'm going to be going to watch Many Saints of Newark. I got to try and finish it, I think, before October 1st. That's when it comes out, I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure it's October 1st or the first weekend. Many Saints of Newark release date. It is, October 1st, 2021. So I will be watching that as well. I will be watching Spider-Man opening weekend. I'm excited for all those movies. These are probably the 2 movies that I'm most excited for. I would like to talk about The Sopranos at one point because The Sopranos is not just my favorite show. It's the best show of all time. Let's just get that out of the way. There's nothing better than The Sopranos. Seriously. The Sopranos is the greatest show of all time. You can say, if somebody says to me Grey's Anatomy is the greatest show of all time, immediately I don't take their opinions at all. Their opinions mean nothing at all. They are regarded as there's something wrong with them. If somebody were to tell me Grey's Anatomy is better than The Sopranos, I get it. Subjectivity. If somebody tells me Grey's Anatomy is better than The Sopranos, they are getting swanton bombed on the spot. I don't remember what a swanton bomb is, but that's the first one I could think of. Your opinions don't matter if you think Grey's Anatomy is better than The Sopranos. The Sopranos changed television, changed TV shows forever. If it weren't for The Sopranos, we don't see shows like Breaking Bad. We don't see shows like Sons of Anarchy. We don't see shows even like Mad Men. We don't see these type of shows ever. Because stuff like that was basically saved for the movies. Even then, I don't even think we saw that much stuff in the movies. Because nobody wanted to see the main character, the person that you're supposed to be rooting for, kill. It changed TV forever. And it did it in a way that is hard to replicate because there will never be another show like The Sopranos. A mob boss who goes to a shrink, you don't see stuff like that at all. It's who thinks of that other than David Chase? And you may think that like if you listen to a lot of the interviews and a lot like listening to what's it called, Talking Sopranos, they talk about how everybody who is doing an audition for this show thought it was a show about the opera or piano, singing, whatever. It's a beautiful show and I love it. And I know I went from talking about the MCU and Spider-Man to this show. It's a completely different thing, but I just talked about how I want to go watch that. I'm anticipating those two movies and I'm going to be watching them opening weekend. And if I have to watch Many Saints and Work by myself, I will. But I'm just excited for these two movies. So excited. I don't know what I'm more excited for. I'm just going to say I'm excited for both. Why can't I be excited for both? It's fantastic to watch. Fantastic movies. But I'm going to say, if you haven't watched The Sopranos, watch it. I will say, it's weird at first. It's a funny show at first. It's a dark show, but it's still pretty funny. It just gets darker and darker and darker, and I love it. I started rewatching, I think in June. No, actually earlier. I think it was like May or June, one of those 2 months. And we're on episodes. Not that I don't like them, not that they're not good episodes, because I'm coming up on probably one of the best episodes that isn't Pine Barrens. Pine Barrens is my favorite episode. It's the greatest episode, but this is another fantastic episode. The acting in the episode that is coming up is fantastic from Edie Falco and Jim. Jim being James Gandolfini. Just that everybody refers to him as Jim when I'm listening to a podcast, so I just started referring to him as Jim, as if I know the guy. I wish I knew the guy. I wish I met the guy. I would love to be best friends with his son, but that's another story for another time. The acting from James Gandolfini and Edie Falco in the episode Whitecaps. Watch a clip from the scene. Watch a scene from that episode and the scene from that episode I'm talking about. If you know the scene that I'm talking about from Whitecaps, oh man, nothing beats that acting. It is one of the greatest pieces of acting that you will ever see. That episode riles me up. I feel like they're my parents. And if I was there watching that, when I watch that episode, I hate watching this episode because of how good it is, because of how good the acting is, because I get anxiety when I think of this episode coming up, because I hate it when just watch it and then you'll see what I'm talking about, because you root for them. You root for them. Despite the fact that Tony Soprano is a sociopath, you root for them. Carmela isn't any better. You root for them. You don't want what's going to happen. No. Yeah, whatever. The acting in this show is phenomenal. James Gandolfini's character. James Gandolfini deserved every award that he got and then some. Edie Falco played Carmela beautifully. Christopher Moltisanti, played by oh my god, Michael Imperioli. Oh my god, I get mad at him as if he was my nephew or cousin, whatever. Tony Sirico, who plays Paulie Walnuts, fantastic. Silvio Dante, played by Little Steven. Oh, Stevie Van Zandt plays him beautifully, and he's even Italian. David Chase created the greatest show of all time, and now there's a movie coming out in less than 2 months, just basically over a month away, just a little over a month away. And I'm so fucking excited for it, just as excited as I am for Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm so excited for it. If you like Spider-Man, watch this movie. Go watch the trailer for it. If you love good TV, good dramas, watch The Sopranos. I talk about it all the time with my friends. There's only one person that I know, one other person that I'm friends with that is also close to my age that watches it. That I talk to very often. A lot of people that I know have watched it, but I don't talk to them very often. And when I do talk to them about the show, we just fucking love talking about this show. But I love this show and I talk about it a lot. My mom gets sick of whenever I talk about this stuff, so that's also why I'm talking about it now. My mom gets sick of it, how much I love this show. And I don't like it just because it's Italian, this and that, fucking pasta. Good Tom Segura reference. I love it because of how good of a show it is. I got into it because it's Italian and it's Italian Americans and I'm Italian Canadian. But I stayed because of everything else, the dialogue in it, the scenes between Melfi and Tony, the acting from the actors. James Gandolfini will make you want to stay. You will fall in love with this show, and then you'll fall in love with James Gandolfini as an actor, and then realize, oh shit, he passed away 8 years ago now, and then you will become sad because of how good of an actor he is. And you're gonna want to watch his other things. Go watch him in Zero Dark 30. He has a very small role in it, and he's great in it. Go watch Killing Them Softly. He's in some fantastic movies. Like, hold on. So the movies that I've seen him in is Zero Dark 30 and Killing Them Softly. But he's in some fantastic roles. Enough Said is a very underrated movie. I still have to watch it, but I've heard it's still a very good movie. It's basically about two middle-aged people. It's got Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in it as well. It's actually on Disney Plus, so it's in my list. It's just basically two middle-aged people, two like adults fall in love or something like that. His actually another one that I've seen him in, and he's got a small role in it. His role in True Romance is so small, but so good. He plays Virgil. Oh my God, this movie is phenomenal. I don't think I can tell you exactly how good it is without ruining the movie for you. He's so good in it, and he's got a small role. He's in Where the Wild Things Are. He actually plays, I think, the main monster or wild thing. He plays Carol, which I think is the main monster, but I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Where the Wild Things Are. He is a fantastic actor, and I'm so happy to have gotten to watch him over the years. He's actually in the remake of 12 Angry Men. What? The 1997 version of 12 Angry Men. He's juror number 6? What? Where is he in this picture? Oh my God, there he is. He actually looks like Tony Soprano in that picture. Of course he's wearing that outfit. What? He's in 12 Angry Men? How was this one? Because whenever I think of 12 Angry Men, I didn't even know there was a 1997 version of it. It got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. Jack Lemmon. This is the guy from the original one, is it not? Grumpy Old Man. No, maybe not. He was in Some Like It Hot, this guy. Was he not in the original one? Why does he look familiar? He looks like he was in the original one. Maybe not. Go watch The Sopranos, is what I'm trying to say. Go watch it. It's a fantastic movie. One of the greatest movies. It's a fantastic show. It's probably the greatest of all time. You'll enjoy it. If you love drama, you don't even have to be into that type of lifestyle. You don't have to be into the mob. You don't have to be into the mafia. You don't have to like Goodfellas, although Goodfellas is referenced a lot. And there's a lot of Goodfellas actors and actors from Martin Scorsese movies. But Go watch it. You will enjoy it so much. If you love good TV, if you like drama, it's there. If you like comedy, there's comedy in it. If you like family stuff, there's family stuff. Not saying that it's family friendly. I'm just mean like family as in mom, dad, whatever. Go watch it. It's a fantastic show, and I will be so mad if you don't. Bye. That's going to be all for this week. I got off track because I thought I was going to mostly be talking about the MCU and Spider-Man, but I started talking about my love for Tony Soprano and how much I'd die for him. But that's going to be all for this week. But yeah, this is the first episode of the LTP Extras. Basically, just all I'm going to be doing on this show is talking about what I want when I want. It's going to be a lot of pop culture. I'm going to be talking about things, who knows, things that happen in my life. Not like huge things, mostly things that were funny that happened to me. Like funny stories. Just things that wouldn't be on the main episodes are going to be on here. But that's going to be all for this week. Maybe doing longer episodes for this one. I don't know. I'm still figuring this one out, but I'm going to keep on going with this. So like I said, Fridays, 7 a.m. are going to be the episodes when these come out. Or going to be when these episodes come out. That's going to be all for this week. I will see you all next Wednesday for the main episodes. And again, I will see you all next week, basically. You can follow me on Instagram at Bonavoda. Follow the podcast at Leading the Pack Pod. Follow me on Twitter at Bonavoda_ with the capital B. Again, you can watch these episodes on listen to these episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen to your podcast, just not on SoundCloud. And you can also listen to this. You can watch the video version of this on YouTube at Leading the Pack Podcast. I will see y'all next week. Ci vediamo dopo. I don't know why I just had a brain fart there. It's going to be all. Spider-Man. I'm going to stop singing this just in case I get caught up here striked.